The World Economic Forum is fully underway with the great and the good of the world of business, finance and policy making gathering in Davos, Switzerland. Let's get to the great Yahoo Finance's Brian Sozzi and Julie Hyman, who are on the ground there. So guys, set the scene for us. Your biggest takeaways. What stood out for you so far?
Take it away, Julie.
Well, you just asked for a little weather report. It's 19 degrees. But, if you're in some of these conversations with some of these world leaders and CEOs, they're raising a lot of red flags about all kinds of issues, right? There's the big sort of long-standing stuff like the climate crisis. There is, of course, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which is ongoing. We had the chance earlier today to speak with the mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko, and you're going to hear more of that interview on Yahoo Finance. So there's these sort of big overhanging issues, but then there's individual companies, individual countries, and they seem to be striking slightly more of a positive tone, or at least a less pessimistic tone. Even the Chinese Vice Premier Liu He, who came sort of last minute to the conference, he wasn't quite as negative. Even with the Chinese economic readings today not being great, he wasn't as negative perhaps as he could have been.
Right, and as for me, my two top takeaways are this. I've never felt more old than at this World Economic Forum. And I mention that, guys, because there is a new wave of technology coming. There's so much focus on Microsoft and its affiliation with ChatGPT, but there are programs like that coming that are going to fundamentally change how we broadcast, how we invest, how we communicate with each other. And it is not written in stone yet that an Amazon, a Microsoft, and a Google will be the dominant players in here. Now, I will say it may be interesting to see if those players with big cash coffers go out and buy this next generation of AI technology and add it to their systems. If you're a Mark Benioff at Salesforce, do you go out and buy some of these platforms and integrate it with the Slack? So that is very interesting to watch as well. Then, of course, a lot of recession talk here as well. The little more gloomier World Economic Forum than in the past. And now, for me and Julie, it's party scene. We're going to get out there and network, do our thing, drink some wine, and book some interviews for the next 5 years.
And you raise a good point. When you think about sort of this next evolution of tech, when you think of where OpenAI was just a few years ago, and look at where we are now. Now you have a lot of companies clamoring for it. Think of, when BlackBerry was at its peak and now, where it is now. What do you think this is signaling about where things go from here, what the next evolution of tech might look like?
Well, what's so interesting is, AI has been a conversation for years, here in particular, where there's been debates about the ethics of AI at past World Economic Forums. But this is the year that I think for most individuals, it feels more real because you do have a product like ChatGPT out there, because AI is becoming more integrated for the first real time in our lifetimes. And so in terms of what's that going to mean, I don't think we can even conceive of what it's going to mean, not just for us on a consumer basis, but for example, we talked to Mark Sussman of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They're using predictive AI to help small farm holders, right? Small farmers to predict weather patterns better, to know when to plant better. And all of this stuff it's on the cutting edge, but it's also here in some respects.
Yeah, and it also means, Rochelle, that the world is going to move even faster. Conversations are going to happen even quicker than they do now, and you're going to get access to more information. And then on top of that, I think a lot of this OpenAI technology is in part of focused on getting our own information back. We're no more necessarily giving our data to a Facebook so they can sell it and make money off it. We will, in some respects, own this data, take control of it. Now, we may be paying a subscription to some of these services, but still, we start to take some of our own data back.
Incredible possibilities there. Thank you for getting us up to speed on what's been happening there in Davos. Brian and Julie, thanks so much. We'll be looking forward to more of your coverage this week.